I will. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Shea Frank, and my topic for today was going to be about Hearth Witch. I want to give a shout out to Hearth Witch because I think she's was a British YouTuber, that she's so wise and smart and knowledgeable, and that's kind of like my go-to YouTuber when I want to find anything out. I think she's very knowledgeable. So when I was starting out my journey in 2020, I devoured all kinds of YouTube videos from all kinds of people, but Hearth was kind of my go-to. I always come back to videos from Hearth. And so today what I wanted to say was a couple of videos back then in 2020 was about deities, and she had said people keep asking her about deities. How do you get a deity? How do you do this? And that people were like trying out this deity and that didn't work, and so they tried something else. And so she said, you shouldn't be trying to force a deity onto you. A deity will come to you. And yeah, well, I was just starting out, as I said, and I thought, I just want to bless all the gods and goddesses. I don't need one specific deity and stuff. And so like I said, I was watching all her videos, and this was good advice, which I wasn't trying to find a deity anyway. So I was just setting up a new altar. I change out my altars. I do Sabbat altars, and so I don't know what time of year it was, but I was changing one out and setting up the items for the next Sabbat sometime in 2021, and it just hit me. I was just like, I know who I want to be my deity, and I'm not going to tell you because that is very personal and personal to me. But I remembered about this video in 2020 from Hearth that I had watched about not forcing yourself on a deity. They will show up, and I just thought, this, like I said, it's 2021 then. That was right. She was right. This that then I went and found out some information about this deity, and got some items to put up on my altar now, and that was the one thing. The second thing that the second thing I wanted to mention, which is just recently now in 2023, well, it kind of started at the end of last year sometime. I was always just throwing away my ashes from the incense. I burn incense sticks usually, and I thought that was a waste. There's not something I can do with the ashes. It just seems like a shame to be just chucking them. And that's when I've looked up a few things that were just kind of like more too witchy, getting into casting spells and stuff, what you can do with these ashes. But I think protection spell and stuff came into it, and I didn't really want to be into this witchy kind of thing. I'm more into paganism, and I call myself a pre-Christian, which is anything before Christianity, paganism, or even Jewish beliefs or fests, because they also coincide a lot with the Wheel of the Year fests, and they're also pre-Christianity. So, but the witchy thing, I don't want to be casting spells. But it has kind of, like I said, beginning of this year now, this protection spell and sort of self-love, which kind of gets you into the power of I am. I am into the power of I am, and how powerful the power of I am is, which is also kind of like self-love. And that gets me back to Hearth Witch, because another video that I watched was people were coming into her store, or coming in, because she has a shop in England. People are coming up and saying, give me a spell, I want to cast a spell. And it's like, well, you just started out, and you should get to know yourself and what it is you are about, and not start casting spells right away. It reminds me a bit on getting a driving license. When you first pass your driving test, you don't really just go off the next day and say, I want to drive in a Formula 1 racing track with all the professional racing drivers. And so it's a bit like that. If you've just started out, you should maybe like learn to drive first before you start racing cars. And the idea of I want to go back to the car, to put it into first gear before you put it into second gear, and then you work your way up to driving fast. And so what the Hearth said in that one video was kind of like that kind of advice, that she thinks they should start off small with learning what this Wicca movement or something is about, before she didn't advise anybody to start off at the beginning with already thinking they can cast spells. This gets me back then to now into 3 years of this journey that I am on. As I say, I don't really call it Wicca. I don't call myself a witch, but this is kind of like what she was saying. You have to start off slowly and learn what you are about. And now I feel like that is how my journey is going to go. And that's why I'm trying to get back to the Hearth Witch thing, why she said this people that want to get the shit together. What do I need? I want, and they've just started. So you don't. Yeah. So getting back to the car, you don't just jump into the car and put it into fifth gear. It's not going to work. It's going to stall. You have to take your time to find out what it is you're about and what direction your journey is going. And this is why I feel that now, after 3 years, it's now I'm ready to do blessings and rituals. I don't like the word casting spells. And so that reminds me of why she said that in that video, that you need to start off slowly. So I feel like I'm repeating myself. Just wanted to give a shout out to Hearth Witch and anybody that's starting out in Wicca, witchcraft, or paganism. Call it what you will. She has all kinds of very good things to say. So I hope you're still watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up. That would be really nice, and bye.